Hey guys, Urban Combat Survivor here. This is a video response to Irish. I did a video called Martial Law, Disarmament, and the People. And he asked for other people to hop into the conversation, so here I go hopping. I agree with a lot of the points in your video, particularly where the logistics involved in trying to disarm the American population as a whole are concerned. Ironhead 41 recently did a very good video showing exactly how many bullets or percentage of a bullet it would take for all of the armed American citizens to repel or completely wipe out foreign armies or even our own army. It was just an exercise in numbers that really put some perspective on how difficult that would be. I agree with you completely that it's not likely they're going to do things in a manner that allows for a single resistance against it. It's going to be dribs and drabs. It's going to be nibbling away at the edges, as they have been doing at the Second Amendment and at many of the other amendments, passing new amendments that take the teeth out of or completely override the old, as they did with the 17th Amendment. So I agree with you that it's not very likely, unless there is some national catastrophe and they think they can get away with doing it because there's no communication. Your example of an EMP is a great one on that. If there were some kind of EMP, whatever caused it, natural, man-made, whatever, that really took out communications, or if this current push by the administration to give them an internet kill switch is successful, then I think it becomes much more possible, simply because they are, they're removing the ability for us as a citizenry to coordinate our response, be that political or armed resistance. So I agree again with you that civil action voting is the way to go. I couldn't agree more strongly with your assertion that your county sheriff is absolutely one of, if not the most important elected officials that you can concentrate on in your next election. Where I disagree with you is in that the president or anyone should be afforded the ability to have a afforded the ability to have a unilateral action that is contrary or unconstitutional. I couldn't disagree more. I look at it this way. It's easy in times of plenty not to be a thief. It's easy when you have everything that you want not to be a thief. It's when you're hungry and times are tough that your true character as a person, as a president, as a nation, it's in tough times that your true character comes through, and what you really are is what it boils down to. So in really tough times, it becomes, in my opinion, much more important to follow strict constitutional law than it is in times of peace. If there were to be, that is exactly the time when a nation would be vulnerable to tyranny, to take over in whatever form it may take. That's exactly the time that would happen, and in my opinion, that's exactly the time that requires the most vigilant adherence to law and to the Constitution and to the founding documents of this nation. So I agree with you overall that they're not going to do it, right in your face. They're not going to send troops out door to door to take people's guns. I think it's more likely that they're going to do things like try to regulate lead through the EPA, which is something they've been pushing for. They're going to try to make it so expensive for you to buy ammunition that stocking up that ammunition becomes financially improbable, if not impossible. And I think they will continue to do things like try to push magazine capacity bans and various other, any measure they can come up with that will eat away, eat around the edges, chew around the edges of the rights of the citizenry, that will allow them more control over the citizenry, is what they're going to do. The Army, I read this probably, 6 or 8 months ago. There was an article where the Army has been trying for years to come up with what they term a green bullet. And what I think is that is a direct attempt by certain individuals to create an alternative to lead bullets, because once our military has the technology, regardless of the expense of creating those bullets, they can then refer back to the little tiny regulation that the EPA has already gotten away with, where they made it illegal to use lead shot for hunting upland waterfowl. They decided that that lead is an environmentally hazardous material, though it is naturally occurring all around you. They decided that this is a hazard, and that's the way they're going to regulate. And look, these guys in power right now, they have used the EPA in a lot of ways that it was not meant to be used, in order for them to pick up power in places where they knew they wouldn't be able to get it legally or through legislation, because the Supreme Court would throw it out the window. They've used the FCC similarly to kind of badger and circumvent the checks and balances process that was created in our government. They've used many different agencies in this manner, and I don't think that's going to stop. I think that's their method. I think that's their chosen strategy. That's how they're going to come at these things. So no, I don't think they're going to knock door to door or show up with troops in cities taking people's guns. I think it's going to be a lot more insidious and sneaky and slow than that. These guys have been working on this for a long time, and I don't see them all of a sudden losing their patience and being in a hurry. They have time. Time's on their side. They know that every time they undermine the concept of America in one kid's head, they're moving towards their own goal. They know every time that they remove parents from the situation of parenting, that they're one step closer towards their goal, whatever their goal is in your opinion. Every time they remove the process of critical analysis from any citizen in this country, they're another step closer to their goal. Anytime they can take over things like Wikipedia, there's currently a war that a lot of people probably don't even know is going on. There's a war right now on Wikipedia over certain topics, and those in power at Wikipedia, those have gotten to a moderator status. Those guys, the opposing side, the guys that are trying to rewrite history, they've gotten themselves in a really good position where Wikipedia is concerned. And there's a lot of lies, straight up lies that they know are lies. There's a lot of propaganda on that site. That's another step in this war that we're talking about right now. If you go there and you look up the history of unions in the world, for instance, it's straight propaganda. It's all lies. And anyone who tries to alter those articles will be attacked by multiple individuals until they overcome whatever changes you have made and get you banned from doing anything. I know a guy who had a problem with that. He was he was trying to fight the power on there, and it came down pretty quickly. He realized it can't be done. I think Wikipedia is probably a lost cause, and that's just one of many. The political persuasion of people who run large companies is certainly playing a part in the propaganda that's going to get us towards some ultimate form of gun control and disarming the American people. The guys who own and run Google are extremely progressive people, and those guys heavily fund some extreme left organizations and some extreme left politicians. So no, they're not going to knock door to door. They don't have to. These are patient people, and every time that we have a conversation like this, and we get people thinking for themselves, every time that you spend 5 minutes with your kid teaching them to critically analyze any situation, teaching them the truth of history, teaching them what the Constitution is, teaching them Land Dog 76 just did a video about the Federalist Papers. Also a wonderful resource to teach your children about. I don't know if I was able to get across exactly what I mean in this video. But no, I don't think it's going to be a single push at us. I think it's going to be a continuation of exactly what it's been so far. They're nibbling at us. They're taking this little bit off this edge and that little bit off the other edge, and they're going to continue doing this until they've gotten to the core of things, and then they're going to try to change the core of things. And I don't know how far down the road that is, but whenever it is, I think we need to start fighting it now. And it's heartening for me to see people standing up and talking about this stuff on YouTube and on various blogs and other websites. It's heartening to me to see how many people are slowly coming to the realization that this is our country and our Constitution, and the concepts of individual determination, I think, are slowly starting to see a comeback in the mindset of the American people. The American way, the American can-do attitude is starting to show itself in things like the Tea Party movement. So I have high hopes for the future, and like Spiro Cortalis said, I think it's time for an intellectual revolution. I don't think we're anywhere near a point of violent revolution, but if we have an intellectual revolution, and we start now, many of us stand up, start teaching our children, start talking about these things now, and we can completely stop this. Those that are pushing the kind of things that we're talking about here, they're cockroaches. Once you shine the light on them, they have no choice but to scatter, because they know that their ideas will not stand up to the scrutiny under the light. So keep exposing those things to the light. Don't let them reframe the debate. Don't let them drag you off to the side and question what you know or don't know. Make them stick to the point, and there's no way they can win. These things cannot beat logical arguments. So hopefully we can continue having these conversations without problem. So there it is. Urban Combat Survivor, signing off.